the A1 and the A4 and rotated about. It felt like so many players on Twitter and whatnot or X and whatnot were asking for, hey, Val, let us use both guns. It'll give us so much flexibility. This and that. Guys, use them. You can literally use them now. And I know everyone's going to say, but what about my scouts? You're not buying scouts. I'm sorry, you're just not as a rifler. You're probably not going to be picking that one up. So I'm a little bit peeved about it, but whatever. Hey, maybe I'm going to be wrong. Maybe we're going to see these guys pick
I
up
think
more weapons.
I think there has been some diversity, but people are still very fiscally responsible, and the A1S is still the go-to choice if you're thinking about the finances. So, yeah, no, I mean, more diversity, more time to be played with, that's for sure, in the new game. But, yeah, we'll start T-side. This is their map pick in the series, and very fast to A already.
Rajan starting off strong with just the one, though. Want more than those with the dualies. Owner and NPL just walk over this A-bomb side. BELCHONOKK's late push gives them a 3 versus 3. In that retake, though, they will have no kits to actually try and make this happen. X5 as well. Not the greatest angle for the dualies. Still good for 1, honestly. I'm surprised he gets even that as BELCHONOKK now trailing forward. Wants to take point initially. Jerry on the low ground. Good for 1. And now it's all down to Mr. Belchu. Over here, I'm never going to call him that again, I promise. But Owner on the sidelines reveals his position, knows the bomb isn't being defused, and it's a great crouch down to give him the advantage. B8. Started off strong in the best round. Owner with the quad.
Yeah, really good angle presence there from Owner, and finding immediate trades on so many different kills, whether that was onto X5 into deep spawn, or onto Jerry just as he emerged into the bomb site, found the instantaneous headshot just as his teammate fell. And like you said, that little crouch down, there was no way that BELCHONOKK was going to be holding so wide for that swing from Owner, so he'd still be tucked into bricks and playing from heaven. So it's the in-game leader that comes through with most of the impact there for Bait. Got the entry and finished the round off too. Now, something to note, when you noted the PARIVISION losses that they'd had, most of their rounds did come off of their CT side rather than T.
Full executing against pistols has got to be one of the best feelings in the world if you're Captain Kirk, right? There's money to be made all over the place, stats to be padded. Unfortunately, lives to be given up as well, as they have gotten quite a bit of damage. X5 can't finish off anymore, but whatever, 2 kills is still decent.
Yeah, it was maybe an extra kill to be had on Amster as well. No one really holding for the camera swing after that smoke had been bloomed, but no problems here for B8. Kept 3 alive, that was the bare minimum, and dealt with those pistols accordingly.
Michael, do you know if Half-Life After Effects is working in CS2 or not? I've not been keeping track of that.
I think it is.
Okay.
I know that some of the score bots have been broken.
Yeah.
There is one that's working here for ESL Challenger League. I think I was watching an FPL game recently, and there was a technical issue that they couldn't amend properly, so...
X5 good for 1, almost gets a second as well. Great damage, but at least he keeps himself alive, right? BELCHONOKK's not quite as fortunate.
Gun round starting off well. Jerry, a very wide angle in through middle. Not trying to preserve his life whatsoever, just trying to push that advantage. And now Exopower takes up his position. Captain Kirk finally floored, but that draws one of those fast rotates away from that A bomb site. Raijin alone and taking tag damage, just trying to keep himself afloat while Exopower closes the gap.
Bomb is all the way back to pillar, so it doesn't matter that NPL's made his way up close and personal. He needs to get kills before the bomb can even be tapped, and he's got a double now. Unfortunately, might not have the gun in his hands in time. Owner solo, and X5 is going to be waiting it out for the peak. Both players a bullet away, but who will deliver it first? X5's already on the move as he moves forward into the T side, and as we're moving out off the server, we're not going to know, Michael. Who won? Was it Owner? Was it X5? Is it going to be the T side, the CT side? Find out next time in Dragon Ball Z.
Owner could get the same punishment as well. You know, it's like the same angle that BELCHONOKK was in like his 1v1, but yeah, I mean, it's been a bit stop-start there. This is an important clutch. Let's not sort of deteriorate that, but Owner can't win them all, and I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't, because I'd like to see it not be such a one-sided half like we saw in Mirage. But who's to say, really? Owner's got a big brain on his shoulders.
So did
He
Frieza.
has an advantage.
So did Frieza. Got to keep that in mind. That first transformation, right? So, but he did lose. So that's the question. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Frieza? Is it going to be Goku? Maybe this is Vegeta. I don't know how long I can go with this.
I don't even know who Frieza is.
How do you... What?
Sounds like a great brand for a refrigerator.
You're joking. We're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to this later on, dude. BELCHONOKK moves forward to make us forget Michael's egregiousness of a hair. Jerry as well is giving us a little bit more to talk about.
What is it? Kamehahas? There's only so many shows you can commit to, and that was not one of them for me.
That's like 40 years old, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's hard to commit to. I mean, I didn't watch it when I was growing up. So many episodes.
I feel like I don't even know you.
You don't. Well, I do think if PARIVISION win this series, I might have to formulate a proper apology to them, because it feels like I don't even really know them either.
Oh.
That's more like it.
Kurt wants to keep it going. Exit power, though. He's got a USB out a little bit late. Captain Kurt even gets the digits dialed in. This is a round with all too much success, considering how many PARIVISION players were actually here on the bomb side.
Yeah. 3B, and they get picked apart by pistols. That got very, very scary. They got the bomb plant down, and that was one of the key objectives, but more importantly, they dealt damage to that PARIVISION economy. Said it earlier in Mirage that you know, hitting the right stride with your economy, especially on CT now, is more important than it ever was in MR15. You know, if you struggle to get full buys together with full utility, we saw a lot of it at IM Sydney, where CT sides were just constantly going with these like scrappy gun round buys where they were forcing fights. And, you know, if we're thinking about full buys with reinforced utility, you maybe get like 4.5 now.
I think Wrinkle just naded himself. No, never mind. He got naded. Never mind. Guess I'll miss something over there, but no.
Yeah, that A-nade has become very meta. Use it in your officials and use it in your Premier games as well. You can hear the tag damage as well from the HE, which is very strong.
Flashback is great! Jerry moves out though. NPL was ready. Captain Kurt, maybe not quite as much. Guys, gotta remember, if there's a flashbang coming over, that means there's another player.
I think Captain Kirker was still blind, but maybe lost track of where his player model was going after the kill came through. So it has stabilized, and there's this massive gap in middle that PARIVISION have to constantly be in fear of, because no one's going to be committing out to hunt for that information, and that means there's open territory to be gained on both the A and B bomb site because of that drawn rotation. Oh, that is wonderful there from Amster. Not just tucking into the corner, jiggle peeking the angle, saw the foot, and was so ready for both those duels.
Surely that flash does absolutely nothing. The one that popped on top of heaven.
Yeah, I don't think that's where he wanted that flash to go at all.
Well, turning back to the B-bomb site might be to their detriment if exit power could have gotten in position, but that if's already been negated. Now, Owner, he's still got some ifs in mind, and the question is if the CTs will be allowed to save. Yes, they will be. No one else on the hunt, and no one else plans to go on it either. PARIVISION, despite being on only a $1,400 loss bonus, will not be completely punished.
Yeah, they just recommitted to the full buy here on bait. They had that plant with the Glocks mainly. But coming in with a nice little upswing. This is a closer game already. Coming into Anubis. And nice to see that B8, even though they got those 2 kills via Amster inside of A main, the fact that they were even hunting for that information so quick, they were expecting at fast rotation, and yeah, they go into a very vacant B bomb site because of Exit Power's sort of fearfulness to command a bit more space. Him as well, sort of leaning over towards A, maybe expecting that hit from bait.
Curious to see whether we see any pushing shenanigans from Jerry to come through. Whenever he's playing in middle, that is something you have to keep in mind. Flashbang overhead, but XP Power is able to find the initial shot before it pops, if I'm not wrong. Or even if it did, maybe it was blocked out by the doors.
This is great from Owner, though. You know, losing that first player in through middle, you could anticipate maybe being a little bit more fearful, but he's going straight through camera and cutting them off on the rotate. Jerry coming out full swing. Exit Power right behind him, but Raijin still unrelenting on this bomb site. Wrinkle finally finding the kill right back, so what started as a 1-on-3 now chewed down to simply 2, but that bomb is right outside of camera, so as X5 re-navigates in, he should be able to get a sightline onto that package, make it more difficult for Wrinkle to recover this round.
X5's not actually choosing to move forward, though. So maybe there's room for Wrinkle to try and sow the seeds of doubt, and already you see X5 leaning back because they haven't spotted the bomb yet. Keep that in mind. So at this point, there could be a transition back to the B bomb site with how long Wrinkle has taken. Now, admittedly, Wrinkle has to assume they know where the bomb is, so he's revealed his position now, and with the smoke down, waiting for the peek out, will spot the first 30 seconds. A lot to play with when you're this close to a bomb site. And BELCHONOKK realizes it as well. He's got the gun advantage in many ways, but Wrinkle, as he goes back over to B, BELCHONOKK is going to be hot on his heels, will have to reveal his position if he wants to get there before the bomb is planted, and it feels like Wrinkle has played this perfectly, down to a T. PARIVISION, in their attempt to try and stay safe, try and stay defensive, might have given it all up. BELCHONOKK position reveal, but Wrinkle's shot's been missed. He's playing the pillar. It's a great angle to try and work, but he can't hit that last shot.
Yeah, he played it so well. Had the perfect read on where BELCHONOKK was, ran over towards that B bomb site. Not a whole lot that BELCHONOKK could do, but using that HE to great effect, blowing open that smoke inside of Temple, and BELCHONOKK just, Wrinkle didn't think he had enough time to sort of retreat into B main, could have been caught out by that wide swing. A really nice and nuanced 1v1, but not a whole lot of nuance there for Wrinkle, just missing some of those chances he was given on those BELCHONOKK swings. I do wonder whether that strategy was really what B8 were going for on the start. You know, we saw a nice double Molotov in through the mid house and to the doors in middle, with B8 trying to play behind it, but there was no flash to sort of follow up on that initial peak. No, none that sailed in through the mid window or sort of over the high arches of the doors.
They tried to throw the over high arches one, I think. XP Power was just too far forward, so he didn't get blinded by it. Because he was playing the off angle.
Yeah, see, it just, yeah, that seemed like almost a little breakdown of what was supposed to happen from B8's goal, because I actually liked the opener, but...
Yeah.
Not something that they attempt again in this round. Instead, NPL just playing close to the smoke in mid, where nobody's actually even considering on PARIVISION. No one's played mid at all this round. They opted for a push through A main, and they were very successful. They've got a lot of information, but they can't get a fast rotate.
Like the attempt at a triple nade, but it won't matter. They've got all the players they need. PARIVISION, comfortable as can be.
Yeah, and Wrinkle's a dead man walking. That flank is so fast because of their push through A main. A good hold between those two B-side defenders. Just met B8 at the gates. Though they could lose that bomb site quite quickly, but you get a multi-kill, it'll almost certainly grind a T-side to a halt. Back down to pistols. This time, not as many Glocks or sort of fast-moving pistols from B8. So it shouldn't just be about barreling in together and securing a plant. Instead, they'll try and pick them off with those Deegs at distance.
Unlike relationships, sometimes in Counter-Strike, long distance is the best.
Oh.
Like that long distance name we just saw.
Yeah, what an arm.
I think it's Ted and Zerfer who call those like NFL nades. I like that. I like that term. Well, B8's got some NFL injuries. They are down for the count and are going to have to wait a while before getting back on the field. Not too long. Jerry does cut that time short. But 6-3 and PARIVISION are looking good. You did add the qualifier that most of their rounds have been on the CT side, Michael, so we have to keep that in the back of our heads. But while we are on that CT side, the smooth sailing is looking pretty.
Yeah, it'll be more about the conversation about their transition into T, where a lot of teams have found a great deal of success. Like I was sort of talking about before, Anubis is one of the most T-sided maps we currently have in the pool. But B8 have been met with some of those struggles. You know, seeing less of those misses as well from Exit Power on the AWP, which is certainly proving to be their benefit. And I'm liking the differences that PARIVISION are going with these openers. They pushed A main one round, now they've pushed through B, and they've, again, hit the right timing. There's no one here for B8, and so this flank is on impeccable clockwork. X5 takes first contact, NPL there, but the immediate trade there from BELCHONOKK, so they find the advantage via Jerry, in fact. Players trying to take space inside of A main, so 3v2 for B8 to kind of chew through, but they're still so separated between Owner and Amster that neither can really make a move before they link up.
There's a lot of utility available for BELCHONOKK. Grenade becomes all the more important because when they are going to be trying to go for the bomb plant, if there's a smoke on tempo or anything like that, he can always try and fake it out with a nade pop through. Obviously something we saw Twist do, similar on Overpass. Don't know if he wants to reveal his position. The Owner going to be going for the full hard swing. BELCHONOKK catches Owner out, forces him to switch to utility in that moment of panic. And although his bullets are running out, only got one more in the chamber. The deagle on the sidearm would have been deadly if he'd only been able to actually fire it. Amster, though, will be forced to commit to the bomb plant, and he's gone for the second tap. Jerry just hard scopes him down. And it's a 7th for PARIVISION, despite losing out the opening duel.
Yeah, I mean, that was really, really difficult. I mean, you're highlighting the utility there for BELCHONOKK, but there's just no position in which he can use that unless there's a smoke that blooms right in his face. You know, he was playing a very one-and-done position and was hoping to go overlooked, and he found the perfect timing to catch Owner off guard, and then just played the pillar, bought time, and you saw how difficult it made it there for Amster. Just knew he had to hunt that player down, and understood as well that that extra 5-6 seconds was enough that PARIVISION could have been right on his heels before he got the plant in. So exceptional work, even as that solitary man on B. You don't always have to find just kills.
As helpful as that might be.
I mean, if you kill them all, then, you know, you win the round as well, but...
Did they just...
they messed up
smoke completely. BELCHONOKK, though, would have been able to spot out Captain Kurt. Regardless, Owner, good trade. All can be recovered, and XC Power cannot recover the kill. Second shot does land, but it is to the leg of NPL. Owner on the other side of the smoke makes it so X5 cannot dare to push through, although a spam back does help. Ryan will lose out a teammate in the form of XC Power, and it feels like B8 are doing more than just damage on this half-life. Molotov, good timing. X5's already passed it, though. The flashbang was perfect. As soon as the smoke dissipated, Ryan as well, fighting back only to be brought down. NPL alive. Remember, he did live on barely any HP, and Amster's missed shot means that he'll have to activate. It's inside the smoke. Jerry on the defuse, and the slow taps of the Tech 9 will be sufficient. B8 given a lifeline back into this game.
I actually don't even understand how they got all that room. How was BELCHONOKK alone on the B hold when Exopower is playing inside of Temple. I think I have to anticipate that Exopower thought that smoke was coming towards Temple, because I think it was designed to go towards Temple, but it didn't bloom in his face, and instead he's playing a very, very deep conservative angle in which he's not able to have any influence, any impact, save BELCHONOKK a whole worry of players coming his direction. It was basically a solo man hold on that B bomb site, and bait break in with relative ease.
What?
Oh, that is so convenient. He wasn't even pre-aimed on the angle that Jerry was really swinging from.
He was checking out the back angle.
And they throw a lurk smoke on B as well, so that'll keep some players busy on the wrong bomb site. B8 currently set up outside of A instead. And you're asking a whole lot of Raijin here.
Look where NPL's playing in from. He's gonna get this rotation immediately. Rexy Power to rotate in over here. He cannot make any noise whatsoever, and when he misses that shot, turns around to keep an eye out for NPL. Sure, it's a kill to be had, but in the last round of the half, that doesn't matter. Need to start making a move on. Bomb is down. There's still about 12 to 14 seconds left on that camera smoke. Owner spotted out, so he will be forced back to the bomb site. PARIVISION have got to try and reconvene their forces, but how do they even get in? These crossfires are going to make it impossible. You have no one threatening it out from A long. You can't take a 1v1 duel versus Captain Kurt. There's no way back in except for Brute Force, and Brute Force is not one that they're going to win out on. Not a single frag found. 5 for B8 as we head into the second half with the Ukrainian side having a little bit more hope. 7-5, I might not have expected this to be so even, considering how well PARIVISION started off, but halfway change it all around. B8 now have a chance to equalize if they take this pistol round away.
Yeah, they did still get that advantage coming out of that CT, but this pistol is very important. A weakened A bomb site, only 2 players here. Captain Kirk not really committing to the fight and smoked off, but finds his kill just before that smoke blooms. NPL still just trying to run interference, but X5 has already closed that gap. Still worried about being crunched upon, but Jerry's got the flank covered off. 1 kill there, and Wrinkle on that flank now sussed out, traded. They push forward into heaven, but they lose their numbers. Amster and NPL combining wonderfully for those 2 kills. And now one of them has to try and find BELCHONOKK. They tap on, try and force him into the fight, and they'll commit to the double swing once again. When these 2 are in a pairing, they are not losing fights. B8 taking the pistol.
Is it just me because of what we've seen in this game, or are we seeing fewer kids spot in pistol rounds?
I think Anubis is such a brawly type map in general anyway, on pistol rounds in particular, that maybe there's no need for a kit. I'd still like to see them, but I could see why you might justify not having it. I don't know. Util, dualies. Someone could buy it. But no one floating cash. No one subscribing to that mantra.
It's okay to be wrong.
Really surprised they commit to the second round force buy though, with just M4s and basically no util on this bait side.
Like, they're obviously expecting the Galelos to come through, but to willfully opt into just taking straight aim duels versus what will always be a numbers advantage, that's definitely a bold one. Smoke down Captain Kurt, and he tries to drop. The timing is perfect. Jerry good for 1, and although he's traded, Raijin is right there to cover his back. 4 versus 3, and the CTs will be forced to save. There is no way for them to get back into this round. Hell, Wrinkle's even just setting up for an X5 hunt to begin.
That is, I mean, that is honestly very surprising to see Captain Kirk make that mistake. That smoke timing was the exact same one that was used in the pistol, in which, you know, Captain Kirk saw players come out of A main as that smoke was attempted to be bloomed in his face. Same timing hit, this time he just tried to jump out, and yeah, the rifles from PARIVISION are just going to be that much stronger. Sure, Bait won the pistol, but them going with so many rifles and no utility, you know, you have to try and take good position and try and win these fights outright. You know, you can't deploy a Molotov to counteract the hit. And they get punished for, honestly, I think the buying decision that they went for, more so than anything.
Yeah. A lot of the times I just have to ask the question, like, do the players know something I don't? Is there a reason why, in my head, Molotovs are so incredibly valuable? Where, like, I'm always an advocate of, hey, pull out, like, 3 MP9s if you need to. If you're going to have more Molotovs against force bet, it's always going to be better. But, yeah. It is sometimes punished pretty heavily, as we just saw.
And honestly, that could lock them out of the series if they're not too careful.
Yeah. BELCHONOKK starts off strong, but Honor's got a little bit more weight on those biceps. Raijin, good for 1. Is he expecting the second? Don't think it'll matter if X5 is getting kills like this on the lurk over to the B bomb site. He did have XC power as support, but that support was never even activated. NPL, the flying...
Oh,
what?
God. That's not good. Didn't even get the bomb down, so it's not like there's a ticking timer against NPL here, and he's taking all that extra time to reposition. Last spotted inside of the canals, but rerouting through Temple now. Thing is, Exit Power taking a very deep position through spawn to try and just weigh on the mind of NPL. He'll see that it's a backside plant, a very open one that's exposed to a multitude of different angles, but dark should not be a consideration. He does have a kit as well, something that... Yeah, I mean, the fact that Exit Power may not know that NPL has a kit, man! He reads him! Fought him inside of cave, and Exit Power caught thinking about that CT rotate. NPL, that's a 1 versus 3 that he should never get away with.
Feels like every single one of those kills is just insane in its own right? Like the first one, it's an MP9, you're jumping up, getting the headshots through that, whatever. Look, that's fine. The game is designed that way. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. But the immediate, no hesitation, peek back out over for the second kill on X5, and then tracing through to get another beautiful frag out, that's some really nice stuff. And, you know, like you said, we were wondering whether they'd be locked out of the game, and if there's anything that's going to bring them back in, it's 1v3s like that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Owner got 2 kills from Dark was already a big surprise. You know, that certainly gives them a little bit more leeway. There could have been a 4th man to consider for that retake, for example. But yeah, NPL, just perfect angle manipulation as well. The jumping MP9 and then crouching as he peeks into canals behind the wood surface. You know, those are the types of plays that you want to see out of NPL that has been a good fit for this B8 roster. Now pulling through in clutches too, that he shows some of that experience and some of that youthful prowess. Like, this guy put his brain and his aim on display.
No, great stuff, honestly, and I'm hoping they can actually continue that forward. But also, shout out to Owner, man. The guy is, you know, currently top fragging, if I'm not wrong. Maybe a free kick from him. No, he is still top fragging, but we're back into the game. It is a 4v3. PARIVISION leading in numbers, and it feels like we'll continue to lead in rounds as well. The CTs will have very few avenues of access back in onto this site. The half by success from PARIVISION continue, well, 4 spies, I guess, continues on.
Well, kind of more easily to justify a crazy play in a numbers disadvantage before, when they were on a bit of a scramble by themselves. This time they came in with full weaponry, and now they lose to the burst of PARIVISION. That is a bit of a shame. It does feel like that hard work, something that could have been a big morale and momentum swing kind of play, is immediately counteracted. Still quite a close game. Who's to say how the next round plays out, but PARIVISION have really, I think, attuned themselves with the A site more than not. It's still early days into this T half, but they're liking their A side executes.
I can't say I saw much of the previous one. I do agree with the ones I have seen.
Oh,
I love that nade. I love that nade so much. Complexity was really abusing that versus Cloud9. God, I can't remember which short. It might have been ESL Pro League, actually. And Hobbit was just getting destroyed by that. I think he took like 80 damage on average by the double nade that just popped up over like 5 or 6 times in the half. It was great. I love that nade.
Wonder if the damage is really going to matter too much when the AWP is the one leading the way into the bomb site onto B. Exit power, an instant headshot, or an instant shot rather, onto Amster. They saw much of the body, but exit power did.
Honor trying to hide away while Rinker is playing distraction, but distraction for what? Cherry gets them both anyway. NPL and Captain Kurt are going to be locked out. No chance that they go for this 2 versus 5. Captain Kurt almost getting away with it. Raijin on a recovery mission off his spray.
If you need an example of how some teams are trying to capitalize on wide swinging working, just look at what Wrinkle was trying to do with that MP9, man. He never stopped for his fight. Always just full widing across the entrance of Dark. And it doesn't always work. You know, maybe he would have benefited from stopping just for a moment. But yeah, that B-bomb side just getting simply picked apart. There were so many players willing to take fights. There was 4 there for B8, but couldn't find a single kill. And it's time they use exit power to pry open that bomb site. As soon as they found that kill in Temple, just accelerated through Dark and crunched into B so successfully. I actually thought with the amount of A hits we've seen from PARIVISION thus far this half, it would have been an invitation for B8 to maybe explore looking for an opener or looking for space in through B main. Do wonder whether we'll see that at all this half, with PARIVISION quickly approaching the finish line. That's one of the things that PARIVISION did quite well on their CT side. They were pushing for information on A and B alike. Found good open territory because of it. Only one with the rifle coming into this round was NPL on his save, and he's already struck through, but they've lost all of their dark presence. 3 were lined up in dark, and none succeed in finding BELCHONOKK. He burps him right out.
You know, I was trying to remember because I'm like 85% sure that there is some sort of rendition of the word Beelzebub which starts with belt, and I was trying to like find it in our breakdown as well. I feel like I might just be confusing it with some like random anime thing, which honestly it kind of sucks. That is how I have most of my biblical references. It's just from random animes. But some would say the most ungodly thing to have ever existed.
Yeah, I learned everything about Christ through from Japan.
Shout out to Fate Stay Night, baby. Well.
He has been on a heater. I don't know what he ate, but he has really been doing a great job this series. BELCHONOKK, again, far and away the player that's found the most impact through, especially the T sides. It seems like he's getting a lot of his work done on this portion of the map. He's he's coming with the right warm-up routine, everything. So whatever he's doing, replicate that in the future, and PARIVISION could be in for another one of these stars potentially.
Well, there goes X5, and if there's any time for BELCHONOKK to step up in a big way, this would be it. 5 versus 3, they're going to look to try and find a frag over towards the A bomb site. Captain Kurt's already been given the heads up, and although the trade is nice, it's just not very good at giving them a round. 4 versus 1 now. Sexy Power was forced to continue forward on the hunt for frags, only to leave BELCHONOKK very alone.
Now, this could catch them off. He's been dark predominantly in a number of these rounds. He went back to retrieve the bomb, and so resetting in through B main. There is still a smoke that's fresh inside of dark as well, so they're likely to double up and not anticipate any sort of reset like BELCHONOKK has done.
Oh, he's made noise now, so... Ball's been given over. Flashbang will not matter. BELCHONOKK almost gets a second as well, but... got short on the attempt. Owner will keep himself a bullet away from death. 8 for B8.
They were hyper-fixated on clearing canals. There is a world in which BELCHONOKK, no utility, could have caught off B8, but yeah, nicely handled to at least find that trade. Some damage done to that CT economy, sure, but all they want are rounds. They're still in muddy waters, though. Win here, even with, like, 2 survivors, and whatever PARIVISION comes in with the following buy, they'd basically be teed up to win the game.
Great start, and that aggression is turned around immediately. They still do have Wrinkle available near camera. Owner as well, going aggro on his own, finds BELCHONOKK. The response is good from Jerry, but is it enough? Owner caught out. X5 unexpected in middle. Wrinkle's the only one left, but can they go back to B? The smoke down. Does Wrinkle just move through this? He's got a grenade, will not be using it, doesn't want to reveal it. Jerry finds Wrinkle, and the quick scope isn't enough. PARIVISION now on match point.
I thought Jerry was going to timing himself there. A fresh smoke deployed by Wrinkle in a 1-on-2. Where else would you be looking other than inside of A main? The chances of him finding the timing in through mid was so unlikely, and yeah, just tried to trail through that smoke. Didn't find the timing. And you see the buy that Bait come into this round with. It is unideal. We've got SMGs, a Deagle for NPL, who has definitely been the one instigating a lot of the action. PARIVISION are far and away the team with the better equipment coming into this round to keep B8 afloat. They need this map. This is their pick in the series. They lost out on Mirage, and this may give them a fighting chance. Amster, 1 kill, but we are going to be once again taken away from the action momentarily. We've been having some hiccups. I don't know if this is a CS2 stability thing or if it's something for us, but Yeah, things have not been going as smoothly as we maybe hope.
I don't know what you're talking about over here, Michael. I think everything's okay. All right, I'll have you know. It's all